Welcome to the Early Morning Light Podcast. I'm your host, Tracy Early, and on this podcast, I share life-changing tips, tools, information, motivation, and inspiration to bring light to your life as you tune in to the Early Morning Light Podcast week after week. On this episode, I'm going to talk about something that I think we all need to embrace as we pursue the things that are important to us. And so I'm going to title this one, Results Don't Lie. That's right. Results don't lie. You say, why are we talking about this? Well, just recently I went to the doctor for a lab draw, some blood work. Those of you who are in my age range, you know that there's certain reasons why the doctor will request blood work on a periodic basis throughout the year or however often it happens for you. But anyway, so I went in, and as I was headed in for the blood work, I was a little nervous and slightly embarrassed, to be honest, because I knew that I had not been consistent with my dietary regimen, with my exercise and activity regimen. So I was a little nervous and embarrassed that my results from the tests, from the labs, were not going to be where I needed them to be, especially as it relates to the cholesterol levels and things like that. So I actually texted and then called my wife to tell her that I was a little bit nervous, a little bit concerned about going in. But to be honest, I wasn't just nervous, but just embarrassed that I hadn't done that, because recently I've been eating a lot of sweets and cookies and things like that. I mean, not super excessive, but beyond what I would normally do. I have fallen off a little bit with my exercise regimen, just not getting to the gym as much as I would like to. And I know maybe some of you out there can relate to those periods in your life when you're not as consistent. And I'm someone who likes exercise. Like, I love the process of exercising, not to mention what it actually does to me. So anyway, I'm going in for these labs. I'm a little nervous. And so I go in, I get them. In 2024, you can get the results within a couple of hours. So I was on pins and needles just waiting for the results, knowing that they weren't going to lie, right? The results don't lie. So lo and behold, they didn't lie. Got the results. Cholesterol level a little higher than what I wanted to be. So I had to sit with that and just be okay with the fact that, or not be okay, but accept the fact that I did not follow my regimen. And some of you, I'm sure out there can relate to that. But the reality is that those results did not lie. They don't lie. And I believe there's other areas in our lives, things that are important to us that we are pursuing, in which the results that we're getting are not where we need them to be, but they are what they are, and they're not lying. And they're usually pointing to the fact that whether it's in our business or if you're a student and you are not getting the grades you want, then it's probably because you're not putting in the work that you need to do to get the work, or you're not getting the help you need to get the work done at a level that will produce the results you want in terms of your grades and whatever is important to you. Maybe it's in your relationships. Relationships are not clicking, or you don't feel the connection that you want. In most cases, it's because you're not doing the work to enhance or improve your relationships. Now, I know that's a two-way street and there's someone else involved in a relationship, but I just encourage all of us to just accept the fact that in most cases, there's things that we could do, more that we can do to get the results that we want. No matter what that area is, whether it's relationship, whether it's your health. For me, it's health that I'm focused on right now. I'm at a point where I'm over 50, so I want to do the things that I need to do to get the most out of my health, and to be at a level of health and energy and functionality and all the things that good health provides for me. But the results don't lie. They just don't. When we're not doing those things, we're not getting the results that we want. So I want to encourage you to just start thinking about what are some of those areas in your life in which you're not getting the results you want. And I'm not saying this for you to beat yourself up or to, be super critical of yourself, because someone once said to me that, you can go so many miles in the wrong direction, but as soon as you turn around, you're headed back in the right direction. So I want to encourage you, or I want you to be encouraged in the fact that if you're not getting the results you want, there's some things you can do to get back on track. And in most cases, we know what those things are. We know what we need to do to improve our health. We know what we need to do to improve in our business, or we have resources available to help us. We know what we need to do to improve the grades. We know what type of work we need to put in order to make these things happen. But there are things that get in the way of us doing those things that will get the results that we want. Sometimes we just don't feel like it, so we can't get past that point of I don't feel like it, and sometimes it's not about whether you feel like it, it's about what you really value and what you really need to do, and pushing past the I don't feel like it. I know that's often the case for me when it comes to the gym. Even though I like working out, I like going to the gym, there are days when I don't feel like doing it. But here's what I know. Those days when I don't feel like it and I push myself or force myself to do it, those are the most important, the most rewarding days that I have as it relates to my exercise. Like, I feel so much better. And I know someone out there is listening and you're thinking, yeah, I've had that experience where I really didn't want to do it. And I talked myself out of it. And then I talked myself back into it. And I just found a way to get there and to put in that work. May not have been the most productive day, but I felt better about the fact that I stayed committed to that thing, and I got to the gym and I did it. So that's just the gym. Maybe that's that same thing has happened in your relationships or with your schoolwork. If you're a student, I didn't really feel like studying for that test. I didn't feel like doing that homework in a timely fashion. I didn't feel like resisting the urge to procrastinate on that thing, right? We've all done it. But I just made myself do it. And I felt so much better because I did it. And the results didn't lie, because they don't. The results don't lie. So I want to encourage you, wherever you are, whatever those things are that are important to you that you're working towards achieving, that if you're not getting the results you want, that's okay to accept that, to realize that, but you can do something about it. If you can make a change, you can start heading back in the right direction, no matter where you are. You can build a lifestyle around being more consistent with those things that are important to you, whatever it is, whether it's health or business or school or whatever it is that's important to you. You can make that happen. You can get back on track. You can get to the point where you're making better choices about the cookies and the cakes and the things that were jacking up your cholesterol level, like mine. Same thing with exercise, right? You can do that. And that's what this is really about. So I want to give you three areas that you want to focus on if you're going to get the results that you want, because the results are not going to lie. Number one is you have to get real and exact and honest about what you really want. So number one is getting real and exact. What do I really want in my health? What do I really want in my relationships? How do I want my relationship to look if I'm getting the results that I want? How am I interacting with the person or the people I care about when things are going well, when I'm getting the results that are not lying to me? What does it look like to get the grades that I want if I'm a student, to achieve what I want to achieve in the classroom or maybe even in my athletics or my sports teams or whatever it is? What does it look like to be progressing in the direction that I want to go in my business, whatever that may mean? What does that look like? That's getting real and exact. Number two is once you get real and exact about what you want, then you have to make, we have to make a commitment to doing whatever it takes to get the results that we want. And the commitment means that even if I don't feel like doing it, I'm going to do it. It means even if something else comes up that is prioritized below that, that's not an emergency, but below that I'm going to choose that thing that I prioritize higher, and I'm going to stick to what I said I was going to do. I'm going to be consistent in my commitment. I'm all in with whatever it is that I have decided is important to me. And when we're all in more often, and we're making the commitment to be all in, the results won't lie. We get what we want. We get what we are striving for. So that's number 2, is to make the commitment. Now that you're real and exact on what you want, number 2 is make the commitment. And number 3 is we got to do the work. We have to be willing to do whatever it takes to do the work, to study more, to plan out our study time if I'm a student and commit to that time and to put in that work for that time that I've committed to that. If it's my business, I got to be willing to get out and network and make connections and whatever it takes in your business to get to the next level, whatever that means to you. If it's in your fitness, you've got to be willing to get to the gym, get outside on the track or whatever you're doing, to do that thing on a consistent basis, to make it a priority. Man, I keep harping on fitness because I'm over 50 now, as I said, and the reality is that many of us are prioritizing so many other things over our health and fitness. And the reality is that if our health and fitness starts to fail, we can't get to those other things anyway. We can't be effective in those other things anyway. So, sometimes I think we have to get clear and say, hey, my fitness, my health is a non-negotiable. So the things that I know I need to do in terms of working out regularly and eating better and things like that, that stuff is, non-negotiable because I need that. That's what helps me be where I need to be. That's what helps me have the energy that I need. That's what helps me keep my labs at a level that I'm not embarrassed about, right? That was more about me, right? But that's it. We got to get real and exact. We have to make a commitment. And then we have to be willing to do the work consistently. When I say do the work consistently, that means we have to make those things that are important to us a lifestyle. This is not about like a one-off, some weeks I'm on, some weeks I'm off. Things are actually a lot easier to stay committed to when we build them into our lifestyle. I'm going to get up every day and I'm going to have a certain time that I'm going to go to the gym, right? And that's non-negotiable. Then I'll move on to the other things that I'm going to do. Other things will be built around that. Someone may call and if it's not an emergency, they want me to do something that interrupts my gym or workout time. When I'm at my best, I don't negotiate that time. I'm going to do that and then I'll get to the other things that are less important, if that makes sense. So that's it. The results don't lie. They don't. My labs didn't lie. I mean, they are what they are. I could say, okay, well, the person at the lab didn't draw the blood right and put it in the machine improperly, and those results are inaccurate. But we all know that's not true. It's not true. The results didn't lie. So I encourage you, as I wrap up, to take a look at the areas in your life in which you want better results. You're not getting the results you want. Those results are not lying, but they're not what you want. And just make the commitment to do what you have to do, to get real and exact. Make the commitment. Do the work. And you'll be surprised, or maybe not, with what results you're getting, because those results are true. They are what they are. And wherever you are, you're in a position right now to do what you need to do to get the results that you want. I'm believing you will. I'm believing that everyone that listens today is going to pick an area or more and go out and begin to do what they need to do to get the results that they want. And I can't wait to hear about it. This is Tracy Early. Thanks for tuning in to the Early Morning Light podcast. Please tune in week after week. Let your friends know about it. Like this podcast on the platforms. And I look forward to bringing light to your life by the Early Morning Light podcast. Talk to you soon.